Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. Well, we've had plenty of sunshine over the past couple of days, even a little bit of a bump up in temperatures with a ridge of high pressure that was building in, so widespread 70s. Well, those temperatures are about to drop. That's going to be by tomorrow. We've already started to see the clouds rolling in. We started to see them in the afternoon and evening hours, and we're going to see even more of that coverage by tomorrow as we are waiting on that next low pressure system. If you've been keeping track over the past couple of days, you may have noticed some adjustments when it comes to our rain chances. I know it's a cheesy pun, but it's always a fluid situation when you're talking about chances for rain in the forecast. And well, it was higher yesterday, but now it's starting to track a little bit lower. So we were above a 50%, even talking about 62% when it came to scattered showers in the forecast, more favorable. And now we're looking at it being about 45%. So this could even go down a little bit more by tomorrow, seeing some fluctuations there. But the reason it's come down a little bit more is because of how this area of low pressure is going to be tracking through our region. So we're going to get to those details coming up in a little bit, but also talking about holding on to chances all the way through Saturday, and then we dry out by Sunday. Another area of low pressure brings a slight chance by Monday, and then we dry out by the middle of the week, and we talk about Santa Ana winds again. So let's break it down just a little bit more. Here's that area of low pressure that we're monitoring. That's going to be our next storm system. It's a cold one. This one's going to drive down those temperatures and offer up a chance for scattered showers in the forecast through Saturday. We're talking scattered showers. We're talking rain, more favorable for the mountains, scattered showers for most areas west of the mountains, and really light stuff. And that would be anticipated for the desert. Maybe a few hundredths of an inch, but those chances are very low for the desert. More of the emphasis for the desert will be the strong gusty winds picking up, and then also talking about the much cooler temperatures. Temperatures dropping about 10 to 20 degrees by tomorrow. So with those westerly winds picking up, they're going to start to do so tonight. And then we're looking at gusts upwards of about 30s and 40s for the mountains and the desert by tomorrow afternoon. Also talking about those 20s west of the mountains. We don't have any alerts when it comes to wind speeds. Are not anticipated to get as high. So we're just going to be a little bit below that threshold for a wind advisory, but still being mindful it will be gusty out there, as well as much, much colder. You're also talking about snow level coming down because it is a cold system. That snow level looks to be near about 4,000 feet by Saturday morning, looking at an inch of snow in our local mountains and more favorable for Mount Laguna. So we're going to keep a close eye when it does come to snow. A lot of people get really excited. It's not going to be a high total, but still looking at a little bit of a wintry mix. More of a wintry mix north of us, impacting for Big Bear about 2 to 3 inches of snow anticipated, and also a winter weather advisory has been issued for that area. So there's that area of low pressure. It's tracking a little bit more towards the north compared to last model runs. I had it right over us, and so that was increasing our chances even more. But we're still holding on to chances, as well as some modest totals, about a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rainfall over a 2-day period. Keep that in mind. And that would be for the coast as well as for downtown. This would be enough to basically get roads slick out there. Maybe some minor street flooding in some areas, but overall, it's not going to be a main concern. We are looking at the potential for seeing a little bit more than a quarter of an inch of rainfall through Saturday for the inland valleys, the mountains being the more favorable location, potentially a half an inch to an inch, and also keeping in mind that low snow level, that inch could also be snow. Also looking at the desert, about a few hundredths of an inch being possible, but those chances are very low compared to other areas along the mountains and towards the west. And so this is something we're going to be mindful of over the next couple of days when it comes to rainfall estimates. Those numbers are actually from the National Weather Service. Our in-house model is going even more modest when it comes to the mountains, as well as looking at that for most of the county. So not really seeing anything measurable for the desert, but just want to kind of show you what our in-house model is suggesting overall. Maybe seeing about a tenth of an inch of rainfall for most of the county and about a quarter of an inch of rainfall for Alpine. So a situation that we will be monitoring. It's not going to be consistent when we are looking at these chances, but on again, off again activity. So the best I could say to you, have that umbrella nice and handy. And that's going to be all the way through about Saturday. We're also talking about some cool temperatures out there, widespread with our overnight lows. Our overnight lows are actually going to be a little bit warmer because of the cloud cover acting like a blanket. And that's with widespread 50s back in the forecast. We've had a lot of 40s and 30s across most of the county when it's come to overnight lows because of the clear skies, so that led to the tumbling temperatures. But that blanket with the cloud cover is going to have us widespread in the 50s, still on the cool side. And then you're looking at the 30s and 40s across the mountains. But because we will have this area of low pressure, well, you're also not talking about a big jump with temperatures by tomorrow, especially for daytime highs, and those temperatures are going to be about 10 to 20 degrees cooler. We're looking at widespread 60s in the forecast, even highs in the 50s. So basically the temperatures you're feeling when you step outside right now, that's the range for your highs tomorrow. 57 degrees for Valley Center, 61 degrees for Escondido. Also talking about the low 60s for La Mesa as well as for Chula Vista. Our surf forecast about 3 to 5 feet and a high risk of rip currents at our local beaches. This will be your surf forecast with that building west swell. That's going to generate the elevated surf all the way through Saturday, about 3 to 6 feet on Saturday, and still that high risk. But there's something else I want to talk about for this weekend. Not only talking about the elevated surf, but you also have king tides that are right back along our coastline. So our tide times over the next couple of mornings, you're looking at that between about 7 a.m. to about 9 a.m. That's going to be for Friday and Saturday. The return of king tides because of a supermoon, that's going to create that extra pull in the morning. So we're looking at upwards of close to 7 feet as we are getting closer towards that supermoon, which will take place by tomorrow. So that extra pull will be there. And also worth noting, in the afternoon hours, it's also a good time if you want to go and check it out right along our coastline, a lot more of it being exposed because of exceptionally low tides. So by the afternoon hours, you're looking at that, and that is a good time to check out tide pools. So just being mindful that king tides will be back here right along our coastline. And as mentioned, it's because of the extra pull from the full moon. It's going to be the last supermoon of this year, named the Beaver Moon. It's going to look bigger and brighter, and you're also going to start to see it by tomorrow night. Now, cloud cover might make it a little difficult, but hey, that big bright sight's still going to stick around all the way into the start of the weekend. You're looking at your moonrise for tomorrow at 4:34. So once the low does clear out, another one gets closer towards us, but that's the closest it's going to get. So that's why we're only looking at a slight chance when it comes to any showers on Monday. And then we have high pressure building in right behind that, clearing out a lot of that cloud cover. Until we get to Thursday, you're going to see some added high clouds to the scenery, but still talking about Santa Ana winds and even warmer temperatures. The next 7 days for the coast, you have the 60s. You're staying in those 60s all the way until Tuesday. 70s coming back as we do have Santa Ana winds back in the forecast and leading to warmer than usual temperatures west of the mountains. The inland valleys will be in the 60s all the way through Monday, back into the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you're back into the 80s. That will be above seasonal by Thursday of next week. For the mountains, you're looking at the 40s for daytime highs over the next couple of days. Also, the chance for an inch of snow in our local mountains, and then we're right back into those 50s across the mountains from Sunday all the way through Wednesday. 60s return by Thursday with that area of high pressure moving in. You're looking at the 60s for daytime highs for the desert. Also, wind conditions picking up. Those gusts into the 30s and 40s helping to drive those temperatures down. We had 80s today for daytime highs. Back into the 70s, that will be by Sunday and Monday. And then you're back to a high of 76 degrees with that area of high pressure building in by Thursday of next week. All I can really say about tomorrow and the next couple of days, basically all the way into Saturday, make sure you have your umbrella nice and handy. If you had any outdoor plans, maybe think about a backup when it comes to that. Also, just how chilly it's going to be. Our overnight lows for the inland valleys starting on Sunday morning all the way through Tuesday, you're talking about those temperatures getting down into the 30s. So sensitive crops, vegetation, being mindful of that, your pets as well, because we will be looking at some patchy frost in the forecast because of those cold overnight lows, and then just making sure you're taking some extra time out there on the roadway, especially if you're going to be encountering any slick roads out there as a result of the showers we are anticipating in our forecast from Friday all the way into Saturday. I hope you have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.